Alright, ready?
Kayfabe Gimmicks! You know where to find us on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Fiction Entertainment, brother. YouTube. Fiction Entertainment, brother. YouTube.
Fucking #1 Kayfabe Gimmicks podcast ever. So.
How are you looking for?
Put words in the wrong place.
Are you recording all this, dude? The best wrestling podcast that's always been.
What you gonna do, brother, when the beast starts talking about wrestling and drinking whiskey and it's all crazy up in here?
Welcome to Kayfabe Gimmicks. It's Snoopy here. I got Unclean Spitter. I got the Beast. Say something, Beast.
Introduction. No.
Tonight, we also got a man named Hatchet.
What up?
And we got Double Russia.
Yo.
He might be a drunk. He might be a 16-year-old girl. We're not sure.
Oh, fuck yourself.
Oh.
16-year-old girl.
Alright, so we had a hell of a Raw this week, I think you guys could say.
It was okay.
Are we talking hella bad?
I don't think it was bad.
It was decent. The storyline at the end was horrible.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We'll get to that.
That's going to be the last thing we want to talk about, though.
We'll get to that.
So, obviously, last week ended with the Authority coming back.
Yep.
I don't think we had too many negative feelings about the Authority coming back at the beginning, right?
Nope. It was okay, I guess. I really, when I first saw it, I thought, like, oh, not this shit again.
Thoughts,
They
Hatchet?
progressed the storyline better than anybody else does. There wasn't really much story going on once they left.
I heard that Stephanie was pregnant again, and that's why they left in the first place. But I don't know if there's any truth to that or not.
I mean, I
Was
like
she
the fact that
gone
we're
for 9
going to
months?
talk about rumors.
I mean, I banged her, but I don't know.
Damn. How them starter puppies, though?
Oh my god. Alright. So, we started off with Zigglesworth versus Bad News Barrett.
Oh, God. Don't get me wrong, I love Bad News Barrett to death, but Ziggler's getting fucked.
Did you hear the crowd reaction when they announced it? Everybody was just kind of like, okay.
I think, and this is me being hopeful, that him dropping the Intercontinental title is a way of letting him move up. The problem is I don't see room for him right now with how many faces are at the top.
It's not even
So
that.
turn him heel if that's actually the issue. Yeah,
He's too over. No one is going to boo Dolph Ziggler right now.
Yeah.
He eliminated Daniel Bryan from the Royal Rumble. No one is going to boo Dolph Ziggler.
They found a way to fuck up Daniel Bryan's title reign. They figured out a way to fuck up Dolph Ziggler being over.
Wait, okay, guys, calm down for a second. Hatchet, I want your thoughts on this.
I mean, I love what they've been doing with Dolph Ziggler, but it's like they never really give him a full push. They kind of give him a nudge, but they'll never give him the full push. And it drives me crazy how they keep doing that. 'Cause they know what the fans want. They know the fans love Ziggler, and they're just not going to push him all the way.
Okay. So, what I'm going to say about this is obviously, with one title belt right now, there is no top. The top is literally 2 guys, a maximum of 4.
True.
Yeah.
I think Capital Punishment 2011.
What the fuck was that?
Whatever you were just saying, you might as well repeat it.
I was going to say Capital Punishment 2011 was the last time we had 6 guys going for a major belt at one time. And that was terrible.
I think what this is bring back relevancy to the Intercontinental Championship and the U.S. Championship, because if those belts actually meant something, you'd have way better matches. The Intercontinental Champion was like, when it was Ultimate Warrior or Rick Rude, like those matches really mattered.
Yeah, because there wasn't so many belts.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go with that because like right now you got WWE World Heavyweight, Intercontinental United States. Those are the only 3 titles that they're competing for right now. There's not room there. And especially with fucking Lesnar being the WWE champion tonight and showing it. How many times has he defended his title? Once?
Twice. Against Cena
Twice?
both times.
Against Cena both times. Okay, so why the fuck is he still in the picture?
I'm going to put it to you like this. The Intercontinental's belt has changed hands 3 times in 2 months now.
What? Really? Oh, shit.
Yes.
At least.
Ziggler, Harper, Ziggler, Bear.
4 times, technically.
4 times. And how many times has Bear had that now? 5, right?
6?
6?
5, 6?
No, that's 5. I'm checking. I just checked it.
I don't know if this brings legitimacy to the belt.
What, it getting passed around like a hooker on a train? No, not really.
I think a good Barrett and Ziggler feud would be wonders for the belt.
I agree.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
A feud between those two would bring the house down to the middle card.
Now, on that level, I don't even want to talk about Rusev and Swagger because we've done it a million times.
Oh, Jesus.
And the U.S. belt is just in shit. It's just in shit right now, so we're not even going to go there today.
That's fine by me.
Now, the Ascension came out and straight up dissed the Road Warriors, even though they're doing a Road Warriors gimmick.
And JBL Bear.
Yes.
JBL don't give a fuck, man.
JBL brought out Triple H's goddamn golden shovel
Yeah.
and said, hey, I'm going to borrow this for tonight.
Would you want me to do what, Mr. Shovel?
I've liked the Ascension for a long time. I've been following NXT, and NXT has just been, in my opinion, better than WWE lately.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I've only had a chance to catch NXT for a little bit now, but I'm really liking what they're doing with the Ascension, and especially with Cesaro and Tyson Kidd.
That pay-per-view, the Our Revolution, was probably one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in years. And it was supposed to be their minor leagues, and it's better than the majority of WWE pay-per-views they're putting on.
I think that everything gets a lot more careful attention, that the stories are more well written down there. Comparatively, where in NXT they're not forced to shove Cena into everything, it helps. Because let's be real here, Cena has been shoved into every single storyline that you can think of in the last fucking 5 years.
Yeah, he's like a bad iPhone attachment.
Well, yeah, what was the storyline they had between Punk and Cena and 11? Was it hustle, loyalty, and disrespect? Is that what they called it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a problem.
We will definitely get to that. I want to move on to the Big Show and Reigns match.
Snorefest.
It was, but
It was horrible.
There was an interesting part to it for me, and that was the whole spear and the stairs lighted on his head.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah, but he didn't pull it off right, though. Whenever he got hit, it didn't land on his face the right way, so he adjusted it, like you could tell, maybe.
Yeah, but that's besides the point. I think he's trying to stay from storyline standpoint.
I mean, from storyline standpoint, I think that would have been a great time to take Big Show out for a couple of months. Let him get some rest, make a fucking movie with him, something.
They fucked him over so much from going to good guy to bad guy to good guy to bad guy. Like he's not stable. He don't have a stable spot in the WWE right now. He's just like he's one of the fucking lackeys now and shit, and he should be out there fucking stomping on people. He's a giant.
Well, that goes all the way back to the Laurinaitis days, dude.
Yeah.
As soon as they made him heel, it's been shit. Just shit out of Big Show, and it saddens me because as a face, he's pretty fucking funny.
Hell, even as a commentator, he was pretty solid.
Yeah, he could pull CM Punk and just sit in the commentating table for a couple months.
I'll make that jump right now. I love Jerry the King Lawler. I was so fucking glad he was gone.
He's not as good when he's not being a smart ass and a bad guy, really. His face is like, when his face is just so corny and shit.
Bland.
But I love Booker T. And Booker T and JBL can do my commentary every night without Michael Cole.
Yeah, Michael Cole doesn't really add anything to the table at this point.
Michael Cole, all he does is he just pisses me off every time he talks because he says something really stupid most of the time. I feel like JBL and Booker T really just kind of, they give you like a Jim Ross kind of feel.
I could see
Excited?
that. I could see that. JBL's there just to say the douchey comments, and Booker T's doing your oh my gods, but he's like, can you dig it, sucker? I would pay money for this, actually, at a pay-per-view. Some big spot happens, Booker T's just like, can you dig it, sucker?
And he gets somebody that's like a spinning Rooney right, like right outside the fucking ring.
Hatchet, what were your thoughts on this, man?
You know, I don't know if you guys know, but JR just did some commentary down there in New Japan for the pay-per-view they just put on over the weekend.
Oh yeah,
Still doing his thing, and if they really want to bring good quality commentating, I don't know. I just don't like Booker T as commentator. He just kind of like he says like some really ignorant shit like all the time.
yeah, it's like my fault.
I just can't deal with it sometimes, and I don't know. I just think they need to get somebody in there who's just like I don't know, just actually does some good quality shit, like someone that actually like because I feel that a lot of people in WWE have short-term memory, which we all know. And you should get somebody in there who actually brings up, like why they're fighting and like what happened in previous matches, and somebody with a little bit more history.
Somebody who knows wrestling moves and the psychology behind it.
Like William Regal?
Regal would be nice.
Amazing.
Like bringing back Mick Foley again?
No.
Too much.
I hate you guys. Anyways, so it got weird last night. That night, we had Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan.
I thought that was an okay match.
Okay, I'm gonna put it like this: these guys were what together for 2 years as Bray Wyatt's cult.
Yeah.
Why is there no storyline to this?
I absolutely
Yeah.
agree. And more importantly, I feel like the cult should still exist.
Yeah, they did kind of get rid of that too soon.
Yeah, there should have been a storyline to it.
They broke up the Shield too soon, and they broke up the Wyatt family too soon.
I'm glad the Shield's broken up.
Yeah, I'm with Todd on that one. We'll agree to disagree on the Shield broken up because the Shield breaking up really launched Seth Rollins into being one of the top guys.
And it made me not have to deal with Ambrose being behind part of a collective. He can be himself.
Yeah, but now there's a story. There's a story. The Shield's gone, but these two dudes and these three dudes have storylines and there's shit to put on TV now instead of fucking Cena getting beat up, but then beating up 50 people.
True. They did bring like an essence of dominance and vulnerability when they were together. They were the guys to beat, and no one could beat them.
But I bring up this whole match thing for a reason, because the weirdest part to me about this whole thing was the fact that they showed the crowd wearing lamb masks, sheep masks, whatever you would call them. I don't know if did you guys not catch this?
No.
Like, there was a little kid wearing one, and there was some adult dude holding one. I don't know if they handed them out or if they actually sell these things.
They probably handed them out.
But I was like, are we really pushing Eric Rowan as a face right now?
That's what they're doing.
I feel like they kind of started doing that when they had Luke Harper and Eric Rowan split for Team Cena versus Team Authority.
But that's what we're talking about. There's not enough story to this.
Yeah, that's like the only thing there is like, oh, they just kind of fought against each other. Oh, that's what the fuck that was on.
And then Eric Rowan talked, which was weird to me.
Hate that.
He also did a little interview after he got fired today. The only words he said were disappointment comes to mind, and then he just kind of walked off.
His gimmick was like really going down the crapper with the whole like watching him do the Rubik's Cube. I was sitting there talking, this guy the Rubik's Cube. I was dying when I saw that. I'm like, is that really the route they're going to go there?
Apparently, he's a genius.
He's a super genius.
That's almost as bad as them cracking the glass and having Stone Cold show up.
Now, at the end of the match, we did get that awesome double drop kick from Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was great.
Now, from here, we had the ambulance match, which was not our main event, but it was our main event.
It went the way it probably should have gone, but most of the spots were reused. What was really new in that match?
Well, I think we saw a lot of great Dean Ambrose selling of an injury.
Well, you know what? Dean Ambrose's elbow off of the ambulance onto the table was like picture perfect. Like he nailed.
No, I agree. I was tired of seeing Dean put Wyatt through a table at that point.
I love the tables. The little ambulance tables made me laugh my ass off when I saw them. I was like, that's so cool. And I think the spot with the stretcher and Ambrose, how he sold the limp for the rest of the match. Like, that's where he shines.
Yeah.
Like, he shines over Ziggler there. I know Ziggler's so good at spot monkeying, but oh my god, Dean Ambrose actually sells an injury for a match and tells a story with it.
Yeah, it's a different type of selling. Like his selling is subtle. You don't notice it. Like Ziggler's is like, oh shit, did you just see that shit?
And I'll actually give Michael Cole a lot of points because he brought up the limit. Like, he points it out during the match. Like, oh my god, this man just did a leap off the fucking stage with pretty much one leg.
I'm so where they actually bring up injuries. It really irks me when they don't.
Well, see, that's why I wanted to talk about the stair thing falling on a Big Show's head, because there was no blood, and they were trying to make these stairs out to be so big, so heavy, and then just nothing.
Yeah, and then it just suddenly it fucking wasn't.
And he gets out of the ring by himself, I'm pretty sure. Like, they could have had an ambulance come down. They could have done all of that bullshit to really set up the ambulance match.
But they didn't.
No. Not at all. We have a Diva match. I didn't watch it. Does anybody want to talk about it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, I watched it too. I had a really good piss break.
I watched it, and the only thing I can say is at least Paige beat some people up.
And Natalia was not wearing pants, right?
No, yeah, she was wearing pants. She wasn't naked on TV, dude.
Damn, there goes all my hopes and dreams.
Hey, she's looking fine now. She's like thinning up.
Oh.
Getting all pretty for me and
Which
shit.
reminds me, how are you doing with that, man?
What? I got confused there. Alright. We actually did forget one thing. I don't know where it is here.
You don't have pants on, do you?
I have pants on right now.
Are you sure?
I do.
I think you're trying to hint around to where that you're not wearing pants right now talking to us.
Alright. I got a couple more points about the
You not
episode
wearing
itself.
pants?
I have a couple more things we want to talk about, okay? The first off was we had Cesaro and Kid join the Rosebuds, kind of, sort of.
Yes, this.
Are they with the Rosebuds or are they not?
I kind of hoping they are because they need to put Tyson Kidd in something. Please, God. This dude just came back from injury after being injured for like a full-on year. Do something with him, please.
Besides a, oh god, I'm in love with another woman storyline?
Or a, oh wow, I'm just kind of here on NXT. Look at me go.
My biggest thing about it is I want to see Cesaro do shit.
Yeah, what the fuck has Cesaro done since he had the U.S. title?
Have the U.S. title?
Yeah, that's
silent.
silence there should answer your question.
In the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale trophy.
When the fuck was that? I don't
That was
remember
actually before he had the U.S. title.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
So yeah, so that's about pretty accurate. So, and Antonio Cesaro has done literally fucking nothing since he had
Entire
the
WWE career.
yeah.
You know, I felt like they were giving him a push because they put him in the commercial, the 2K15 commercial, which was national. And, you know, he's in the limo or whatever.
He is world heavyweight champion material.
He is.
His mouth.
Yeah, he needs a mouthpiece.
I don't think he can back. he had that gimmick where he's talking all the different languages and talking trash about Americans. But besides that, I mean, I didn't think he was a bad talker.
Oh yeah, no, but he's not like Roman Reigns bad, but he's not the best in the world.
It's not
feel
Lesnar
if
bad
you went
either.
up against a guy like Versa Rollins right now and had to actually be able to cut a promo by himself, and I mean like a 5-minute segment kind of promo, I don't think it would go well.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that.
Maybe that should be one of our themes in the coming weeks. Kayfabe Gimmicks on Facebook. See, shout out to ourselves there. Maybe he was Claudio Castagnoli for how many years?
God, I don't know.
And he held world titles in the Indies.
Yeah.
He was the headliner of multiple companies for years.
Again, yeah.
I don't think he really needs anything.
No, he doesn't.
But here we are, and we haven't seen shit.
That's a recurring thing with WWE now nowadays.
He needs a few years on him before he gets main event.
I mean, he's been with the company for 2 years now.
Yeah, I know, but he needs to wrestle more people. Like
He needs to have a feud with John Cena?
No, not necessarily.
No.
Let me send you on this point. It took like CM Punk wrestling in WWE for like 7 or 8 years before he finally got I'm not even sure how long before he finally got noticed for the Intercontinental for the World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I'll jump ship and say give the dude some time and see where he goes.
Yeah, because like CM Punk was like whatever. I never really paid attention to him until he kind of at the end of the Nexus shit when he had everything popping off. He became interesting because it was the whole Jesus thing was cool, but like I don't care about that. But when he started popping off with the pipe bomb or shoot or whatever the fuck you want to call it, he made it interesting with the whole I'm leaving, screw you Vince, blah blah blah. It took him a while to even have all that anger towards the company to even for that to matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we'll do a quick offshoot here. Obviously, I think all of us on WWE 2K15 now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is the entire storyline of one of the showcases.
Yep.
Yeah. Hustle, loyalty, and disrespect.
It's kind of a lot of fun to play.
Oh yeah, it's fucking amazing. I love playing that.
I definitely enjoyed that mode more than my career.
My career was weird.
It's so quiet. Like I started off and there was nothing. It was like you was in a gym. It was so quiet, so boring.
Yeah, you play games like NBA 2K15, and you just look at these guys having no voices, they're interacting with each other, and it's just like, oh wow, that guy's just kind of like this stoic guy just sitting here wrestling.
How long have you guys been playing the My Career mode, though?
I am almost done with SmackDown, finally.
Oh, okay, I've already well past Raw and been playing for a while. And it just doesn't get any better, I kept feeling like, all right, wait till I get to Raw, wait till I get to Raw. And it's like, I put in some serious work in that thing, and it's like always the same thing. Do you want the tune-up match? Do you want the dark match? Or it's just like it never. I don't know. I'm very, very displeased with it, but I am actually really happy with the universe mode. Is a million times better.
Oh my god, yeah. In fact, we should perhaps pull our stuff together and do that and pull off the Kayfabe Gimmicks universe mode.
That is what I've been saying.
You have been saying that, but see, here's the
I've
thing
been
about
screaming
2K15. 2K15 only allows us 25 slots for downloaded characters. You can only download 20 a day. And 20 is actually items. You can only download 20 characters or custom pieces of artwork and all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah, we don't need it to be created characters. We could have it, it'd be like fantasy booking, like fantasy football. We just do fantasy booking.
Yeah, we'll appoint 2 GMs and 2 assistants.
I'm not against this. We will definitely talk about this. You guys can see that on our Facebook group. So you guys give me the easiest shout-outs to myself.
Yeah, that's nothing like helping you pat your fucking ego.
You know what? This is your ego too, sir. You're part of this.
That'd be like me telling y'all to go listen to the Raw Meat podcast. It'd be shameless to say
Wait,
something.
you guys didn't listen to the Raw Meat podcast?
Oh,
There was a shout out to me on the final episode. Or like the 2-year anniversary episode of the first season? What?
I don't know, man.
I don't
That was
know.
a final episode?
No. This is a 2-year anniversary.
It was the last episode that was released.
We really need to get an audience for this podcast going. Like, we need more views. We need to push this more.
We will. We're doing a lot of things right now. Anyways, so let's finish up Raw real quick. Raw ended with a firing story. We just fired off 3 of the biggest names. And I want to start with Hatchet. We're going to start with Hatchet, then Matt, then Beast, then Double Russia. Okay, guys? Go.
Why can't I close?
I didn't even see the end.
I want to close.
Okay, fine. You can close. Double Russia goes before you. Hatchet, you go first.
Main event, bitches.
Storyline?
About what happened.
You know, I think it's so cheesy, man. Like, they expect us to believe any kind of firing angle, and it's just ridiculous because every single firing angle that's ever happened ever has always been complete BS. Like, obviously, the person comes back within like a week or 2 weeks. I mean, especially look what just happened to the Authority, like 2 weeks, a couple weeks ago. It's like, all right, they're gone, and then last week on Raw, they're back. It's like, so whenever they say someone's gone or fired or has to resign, it just always kind of irks me a little bit because I'm like, yeah, I'll see him in 2 weeks. Because they conditioned us to think that way. That's my thoughts on it.
All right, Matt, go ahead.
I don't know. I didn't catch the end of it.
Okay, let me explain it to you real quick, okay? Basically, the Authority came back. They said hey to John Cena. We appreciate you. You're letting us
I've seen all that.
suspend these guys. And then finally, they walked away, and they were like, oh, you're all fired.
The reason why they're doing that is because they don't even know who they want to have main event Mania. So they're telling everybody, you got to step up, and that's basically just showing out on TV.
We're
Showing
definitely
what's
going
going
to
on behind the scenes on TV. Because, I don't know, they're talking about how it's going to be Rollins and Bryan at WrestleMania, but they don't know who's going to be in the main event. Like, they don't even know if it's going to be Cena, which it probably fucking will be, but that's beside
We're definitely going to get into that. Double Rush, go ahead and on your thoughts about it.
Be honest with you, I thought it was really fucking stupid that they pulled off that firing angle because, like, yeah. So, like what Unclean Spitter just said, they have nobody to main event at Mania. Like, literally, their best hope right now is if they have Lesnar retain the title and have it defended against either Reigns, Rollins, or Bryan. Other than that, there's kind of like nobody there. They have no other matches going on, and so I just feel like they're kind of trapped into having Lesnar as champion until Mania. Then they give it back to Bryan or whether it's Reigns or Rollins.
We're definitely going to get into that here. My thoughts on this, okay?
Skip me like that, bro?
Yeah, you're going to end it, I thought.
Oh, I didn't know you actually shared your thoughts anymore. I thought you were just the MC.
Oh, shit.
Well, everyone thought you were a bitch too, but...
God damn. Hate you. Alright.
I will eat your mama's pussy so well.
My thoughts, you know, my mom might listen to this
Back into
podcast,
the
bro.
That's pretty quickly.
I might be like, hey, Mom, I need you to listen to my podcast and tell me it's awesome. Make
Oh, shit.
How it
My
happened,
phone number.
how it went down, I enjoyed. I didn't hate that. I loved how they walked out of the ring. We're like, we're discussing this. Let's discuss this in private. And the confetti, the balloons, that part, I loved. It was
Sad
perfect.
Cena is going to be the best gif for wrestling in God.
Sad Cena with balloons falling around him was perfect. But again, a lot of this comes into booking, which I do want to discuss. Because we obviously have to discuss the Rumble still, and we have to discuss Mania itself. Because this main event is obviously going to be a fucking problem now.
Alright. I'm going to put it like this. The end of Raw had such a high and such a low, it wasn't funny. Triple H was at his prime of trolling. trolling people like us.
1 second there. When he came out behind Stephanie with his arms raised and that big ass smile.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're talking about.
You just knew that fucker wasn't up to any good.
And then, of course, everything he said was just, like, it was perfect heel H. Because that's all it was just him fucking everybody.
That's kind of how it goes.
And then they went with the fucking firing angle, and it just deflated everything. If his punishment would have been something elaborate or interesting, I'm trying to think of something.
Now we're all awake.
Did I just get...
I'll edit that out. Don't worry about it.
I actually do have something. Are you thinking about like triple like Randy Orton and John Cena versus the Raw roster back in like 07?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm with you. It would have been something like, other than the firing angle, it would have been mucho delicioso.
Something, even if it would have been like they made Ryback go 3-on-1 again, only you put Ryback in a fucking handicap match, only fucking tie his hands behind his back. Some shit like that.
I actually do want to talk about Ryback also.
Okay, well.
Fucking Rob.
He's going to talk about a man crush.
The firing angle was fucking just miserable.
Well, me and Alex have been really, really happy that they've been pushing Ryback again.
Yes.
And I feel like this kills the push.
I feel like it kills the push if he comes back at the wrong time.
Yes.
Look,
man, I'm not falling asleep here.
That's fucking hatchet.
Yo, man, I'm not falling asleep here. I don't need a fucking wake-up call every 5 minutes.
It's feedback, man.
Hatchet, what's your thoughts on this shit? What's the right?
I'll tell you what the thoughts on this shit is. Boo.
You know what? It's funny. It's funny you bring up Ryback, man, because like with all that stuff. I mean, I know this isn't like his push really related, but with all that stuff going on with him in the media right now, like CM Punk said, Ryback hurt him, and Ryback's just bad for business, and he takes years off people's careers. And then Ryback, coming back on Chris Jericho's podcast saying like, "Oh, I never said he never said anything like that to me." And, I'm horrified by that, and everyone knows that's not true, basically calling CM Punk a liar. So, I don't know, who to believe. Do we believe Punk, that Ryback is actually just a terrible freaking wrestler and injures people nonstop? I mean, I recall a couple years ago, or like a year ago, where it was a Ryback versus Daniel Bryan match, and I remember Ryback went to powerbomb Daniel Bryan through a table and straight up missed. And I knew that was not because you could see the look on his, that was a botch. But I was like, wow, Daniel Bryan's definitely got just botched on pretty freaking hard.
In Ryback's defense to that, Vader wrestled for how many fucking years? Stiff as shit. And more importantly, I don't think Ryback has ever botched as badly as Lesnar did with that shooting star press.
That actually came up on the Reddit the r/squared circle. Holy fuck, I hadn't seen that in a long time. I forgot just how bad that was.
It's really bad.
Lesnar should not be alive.
Lesnar should do that shooting star press again.
He should just stick to UFC. He was doing good until he had the injury.
That's his natural health. His natural health is all fucked.
Yeah.
Well, let me look up what he had that made him stop being in UFC.
You don't
have to look it up. I can tell you, it was a kidney thing.
It was actually they had to remove a huge part of his intestines.
Yeah. They cut out part of his intestine, and it made him basically unable to fight anymore in that sense.
Yeah, because if you start hitting that man in the gut, for real, he's going to not be good. He'll probably be puking blood. He didn't have his
intestine removed. He had his 12-inch piece of his colon removed.
That's shitty.
Yeah, he had a diverticulitis is what it's called.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got the Rumble coming up.
Oh, boy.
And we know Daniel Bryan's in it. We know Reigns is in it. The backstage talk is that WWE and certain people in the locker room don't want to abandon the Reigns push.
I don't see why they should either.
I agree.
You can't just throw your eggs in one basket and say, oh, fuck it, I don't like this anymore, and throw it away. That's stupid.
Oh, I mean, the Reigns push itself has been pretty fucking stupid.
Fair enough, but they've already spent enough time and money into doing it. Might as well keep going and see where it goes. It doesn't necessarily have to be a title reign. He could just establish himself as a pretty big heel or face or whatever the fuck they're doing over there.
It was pretty huge in the beginning, man. Because like in the beginning, everybody was on Reigns' shit, dude.
Yeah.
It was just because that they was hoping that he would beat Batista at the end of the Rumble. Everybody knew Batista was going to win, so everybody got behind him, and they just took that momentum and went with it.
Well, see, from my point of view, I never really was a Reigns fan. I always felt like they were pushing him too hard for a guy who couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something that's an issue for him, and he's probably going to have to take some promo classes or somebody.
He just needs to hang out with Hulk Hogan for a little bit. And let Hogan give him some fucking pointers, brother.
No, we don't need to beef the guy up. We need to fix his promo skills. We need to send him around William Regal or something like that.
Hulk Hogan's promos are classic.
Hulk Hogan's promos are classic. So is his steroid use.
Yeah.
Reigns is gonna come out, he's gonna be like, alright, brother, see this fist? I wear size 12 gloves, brother. Size 12 gloves gonna come crashing down on your face in a Superman punch.
And the sad part is that that'd still be better than his promo skills right now.
It'd be a lot better.
It'd be more entertaining.
Speaking of promo skills, I've been watching some old Rock videos, and I really feel like John Cena, for the longest time, was the perfect carrier for The Rock, because they have very similar style in promos.
They feud when Cena was still Doctor of Thugonomics, right? Did they ever feud with that?
He
Had
brought
a
it
padlock
back.
on a chain.
No, not like in 2011. Back in like 02 to like 06 when it was still alive.
No.
No? Because you know what? If they had actually done that, I felt like that could have been a really good rivalry. And if Cena had actually stuck with it in like 2012 when he brought it back out, bringing it back for one night and getting everyone all hyped up and then saying, oh, look, sorry guys. I feel like if they stuck him with Thugonomics again, he could have pulled it off.
Well, looking at the Rumble right now, do we think any of the three who just got fired are going to be back in time for the Rumble?
Yeah.
I'm probably right back. My money's on right back and only right back. I don't think they're going to bring up Rowan Ziggler in time because they have a history of fucking Ziggler over, and Rowan's a new guy.
Ryback has the crowd behind him.
Yeah.
We're actually hearing a "Feed Me More" chant again.
Yeah, but what if Ziggler? What if this is his? Well, yeah, but what if this is his come up? They're gonna get. What if they give it to him?
Well, we know what Hatchet thinks about it. If they give it, if they can surprise the shit out of me and give it to them.
Sorry, I'm within the bone. Go on.
Yeah.
All right.
I think if Ziggler comes back as a surprise entrance at a late number, that they will have basically declared him the winner at that point.
And it happened again. I got you. So, to close out part of this right now, I know Double Rush has got some shit to do. Double Rush, let's hear your final four for the Rumble. If you want, you can go up to 6. If you want to have the last 6 dudes who are going to be in that ring. Now, they don't have to be the last 6 entrants, just the last 6 men standing if you want to go that far.
Last 6 men standing. Ooh, that's going to be a toughie. Alright. Some of y'all might hate me for this, but I'm going to go with Reigns, Barrett. I'm not sure how this one's going to work. Big E, Bryan. Reigns, Barrett, Big E, Bryan. Cena, and I'm probably gonna go with Orton.
Now, why would you put Cena from the main event into the Rumble? as well.
Oh shit, he's in the Rumble. My mistake. Yeah. I forgot about that match completely. I'll substitute Cena out with probably Sheamus.
If Cena loses, there is a good chance he could win the Rumble.
No.
If they do that, that's stupid. If they do that, that's like literally a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah, but you know how they are.
This is the WWE
They don't care.
about.
I would have a heart attack if that happens.
That'd be it for me in WWE products. I would just be done. I realize I've said this like 30 times before, but that would really be it for me. If Cena loses that title match and then goes and fucking wins a Royal Rumble. It's like
At this point, what we're most likely going to see is a Rollins cash in and win, because I don't think they want Lesnar to carry the strap into Mania.
Oh, no, they
Keith
don't.
double Rusher for this, but I know he's got shit to do, so we're gonna have to say goodnight.
Alright, good night, y'all. Thank you for having me.
No
Honestly,
problem.
dude.
Okay.
Alright, now, here's where we're at, guys. At this point, we have a few things going on here. I feel like Rollins does not have to win at the Rumble, but he can still get the belt at the Rumble.
Yeah.
I just don't see it believable that, that Rollins can beat Lesnar. I mean, even if he's been taking a beating from Cena, I still just don't see it as believable that he wouldn't get up and pound Rollins.
You know how I can see it happening? It's a triple threat match now. However, Rollins is supposed to be the sneaky, snaky heel, all that shit. Brock is obviously the monster, Cena's the face. Brock and Cena duke it out, blah, blah, blah. Rollins is there putting in work on Cena most likely, because I don't think Rollins is going to try to touch Brock. However, I would believe it if the way they had it set up was Cena knocks an AA on Rollins. Brock comes in and F5s Cena. Rollins rolls out of the ring. Brock struggles to cover Cena. Covers him, pins him. As soon as he pins him, Rollins comes in out of nowhere, hits a curb stomp, cashes in the Money in the Bank, and takes it that way.
That is probably the dopest thing that could happen.
But in that sense, that's exactly why I can see Cena or even Lesnar winning the Rumble then.
There's no way Lesnar's going to be...
Lesnar won't be in the Rumble.
You're not going to toss Lesnar out, though, until WrestleMania.
How many more, do you know how many more fights he has left in his contract? I know it's not a ton.
It's through Mania, I want to say. His contract ends after Mania.
I would guess he has one or two more pay-per-view appearances. I don't know if he'll be at
Fastlane, I think it's called this year. There is no Elimination Chamber. We're doing something.
I thought it was Immortal. What is that, Immortals?
Immortals is a game that's coming out for cell phones. Hey, look, WWE, we're giving you a plug.
Well, that last app they put out with the freaking wannabe Pokemon wrestling game was the worst thing I've ever seen ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see Rollins taking it that way. Cena is now out of the picture. I don't know what they're going to do with him at WrestleMania.
They're going to do something.
I would be thrilled if we took the belt off Lesnar, because it really drives me crazy that our champion's rarely on the show, and it's especially because they consolidated belts, and it's like, so now there's only one champion and he's practically never there, and that just drives me crazy. It just makes the whole show kind of worthless sometimes.
All right, I'm just going to go on a tangent here. Say that whole situation plays out. Rollins comes out of the Rumble with the belt after cashing in. The only problem I see with that situation is that if it's called Fastlane, he would have to defend against Lesnar at Fastlane. Now,
Yeah.
I don't think Rollins can beat Lesnar
Ever.
one-on-one. Yeah, I just don't see it.
But
He
I think
doesn't
that
have to
same
do it
story
cleanly.
goes for Daniel Bryant as well.
Yeah, he's got a crew with him, so he don't have to beat Lesnar one-on-one.
Still, he is a heel, so I mean, he can do heel things to win for sure.
But having said that, Lesnar's a heel too. And Lesnar's a bigger heel than Rollins.
Yeah.
Lesnar has fucking Paul Heyman.
Lesnar's definitely a huge heel, but he feeds more off being a beast, not being sneaky. I think Rollins is more of a heel. I mean, he just threatened to kill Edge the other night on Raw, which I thought was hilarious.
I thought it was the greatest moment I've seen from Rollins.
That whole Raw was actually great, but I mean, yeah, that's like the most heel thing I've seen in a ridiculously long time.
I'll give it to you. I'll definitely give you that. I mean, we're at this point where everything's really fucked up by the firings.
Yeah.
It really just ruined anywhere we were going, especially because we should have been doing an Eric Rowan versus Luke Harper storyline all the way till Mania, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose is pretty much over, I want to say.
I would think so. Yeah.
Ambrose needs a feud. He needs a good feud all the way to Mania.
It feels like they're starting over, like everything, when they should really be amping everything up and starting over after Mania. You know what I'm saying?
That's normally what they do, too, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing this year. It's really weird.
Well, okay. That echo's killing me. But the people who currently don't have anything set for Mania is abundant, and there's no clear storylines, which I kind of enjoy because it means I can be surprised when things happen.
But at the same time, that was the problem with Mania last year. I jumped back in for Mania, and it's been a pretty decent year, story-wise, since Mania, but Mania itself was terrible. There were no storylines at all.
Obvious.
You had a Daniel Bryan story. That was about it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Undertaker kind of killed the whole vibe of the whole fucking thing anyways.
Is he even coming back this year? Does anybody even know about that?
I don't think so.
Let's talk about this, actually. This is my other possibility. What if we end the Rumble? This is my scenario of the Rumble ending right now. Since we somehow decided to put Rollins into the main event, what if Rollins wins? And we end the Rumble with one man in the ring. I don't give a shit who it could be, but we'll say it's Roman Reigns. And Sting comes out.
Number 30 hasn't come out yet, right?
Exactly. Sting comes out.
I was just thinking that too. But I don't see it happening. It's gonna have to be something a lot less stressful than that, like winning a Rumble and then going straight into the main event. He's gonna have to do something smaller before then. When he came out and attacked Triple H, it was probably one of my favorite moments in WWE history. But at the same time,
we haven't done anything with that in 3 months now.
It's not even that. He kind of looked a little frail though. Like he's losing some hair. He's kind of old, which makes me wonder, like, how, what's a believable opponent for him?
All right, I'm gonna play off this real quick. Say the same situation happens. Number 30 is not out yet. Now, I'm personally thinking it's Sting versus H at Mania.
I can see that one too.
Say Lesnar retains instead of Rollins winning. And I don't think I would like this, but what if number 30 is Undertaker?
I might actually be down with that, dude. Undertaker buries Reigns.
What if Undertaker is number 30, comes out, wins the Rumble? Now we have Lesnar versus Undertaker 2.0 with the belt on the line.
That would be cool.
It would be cool. The only problem with it is, would it be Undertaker's last run? I think personally that should be the way at this point, that they should let him go out, let him carry the strap one more time.
If that's the way they go out, and as much as I would love to see one last good Undertaker run of a couple of months, I would be okay if he got there. But at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar comes out with both belts back. You know what I mean? He's got both belts with him because he's supposed to be the unified champion. Build that up going into it.
Yeah.
Taker goes there, wins both belts at the same time because he's unified champion, and retires the next night on Raw. Everybody sees it coming. Nobody's surprised. But he retires, and both titles are open again.
They really need to bring that second title back because it's just there's so many people deserving to be in feuds that are actually worth a damn, and there's just not enough belts out there right now. You know what? I mean, God, why don't they just bring the damn hardcore belt back? That would just make my life so much happier. I mean, obviously they can avoid like blood by still doing a few matches, but just something, man, something.
The light heavyweight, the cruiserweight, I mean, there was a million belts. And, I mean, maybe the U.S. Championship belt could mean something, but...
Doesn't. But you know what?
I think the U.S. Championship belt is way too buried to ever mean anything ever again.
Well, I mean, Rusev has it, and with his streak, I think they're actually putting something. I'm not sure if they're putting something behind the U.S. Championship or they're putting a ton behind Rusev.
I don't even... You know, Rusev, I can't even get behind him because it's just another America versus foreign country storyline.
Well, that's why I was like, thank God for Ryback the other Raw saying like this. Well, what was up with Ryback's like random 20-minute tell you about my life thing? But I mean, I was just happy he said this isn't an America versus Russia thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. We need to get away from that. The U.S. Championship does not need to... You know, it needs renamed, redesigned. It just needs to be a championship.
Spinner belt!
Yeah.
By giving it the whole U.S. thing, I mean, you just have such a weird level of, like, nationalism on it.
Let me throw this out there, and this question should hit the whole table right now. If you could take the U.S. Championship and turn it into a different title, you know, maybe give it a different name, give it a different stipulation, what would you go with?
Oh God, what was my Tijuana belt? I would name it my Tijuana belt again.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm going to just say this. I would bring back the hardcore title with the defended at all times 24/7.
At least it was exciting.
I would bring back the cruiserweight so we can get some high flyers back into the WWE.
Here's my issue with that. Here's my issue with that. How, and this is going to sound fucked up to say, how can they say that Daniel Bryan should be holding the heavyweight championship belt if there's a cruiserweight belt running around?
It don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's whatever.
The title. It's called the NXT Championship.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying it would inject a little bit more excitement. Like, I remember watching WCW, and like the first matches, you'd have dudes flying into the fucking audience, kicking audience members in the fucking head and shit. And it, you know, it would be that instead of some boring ass promo from John Cena to start the fucking show off.
You know what I think I would go with, because it's simpler and it's completely usable and can be exciting. If they took the U.S. Championship and they just named it the Television Championship, kind of like how TNA had.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
could throw all kinds of rules on it. They could throw the whole TV time limit rule, all that shit.
Yeah, there would be like cool stipulations behind it, but something to get people like throughout the entire show. You know there's always a storyline going to be happening around that belt. You know, that's what they need. They need something like there's so many matches on this show that are just so ridiculously pointless. It's kind of turning me off a little bit lately.
And I mean, in that sense, even if it's just the television title, you could defend it at pay-per-views, but more importantly, you could have it change hands on regular episodes more often. And that would be a surprise still.
Yeah, and then, because, I mean, honestly, the only belt on that show between, like, the U.S. title, the U.S. title doesn't mean shit to me. I mean, it really doesn't. But, I mean, the Intercontinental title means something to me because I think of the people who actually held it in the past.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. And I know there are a lot of people who don't think that the WWE needs more belts. But when you're calling something a main event, WrestleMania has been a triple main event for a long, long time. And as much as the World Heavyweight matches were always great. But they would start the show or something weird with it. It was kind of strange how they would always do that. Really,
I was
huh?
at that WrestleMania. I was at that WrestleMania where Sheamus came out and just freaking bro kicked Daniel Bryan in the first 10 seconds and took the heavyweight champion off. I was so pissed.
A lot of people were pissed. I didn't really care. I thought it was kind of funny. But what I'm saying now, okay? So, it's supposed to be a triple main event, right? But right now, and especially look at last WrestleMania, this is part of why it suffers. You didn't have that match. Your 3 main events at last Mania were Daniel Bryan versus Triple H, Lesnar versus Taker, and then you finally had Daniel Bryan versus Orton and Batista. Which just
It's gonna
made it
be
a joke.
It's
Daniel
gonna be
Bryan
Sting
was
versus
in
Triple
two
H
months.
at Mania.
But what I'm trying to tell you is Taker was a main event. Like, it didn't really matter, even if, like, for me, the last 5 years of Taker feuds were pretty shitty at Mania. Really shitty. Really shitty. But they were there, you know what I mean? You considered it a main event because it was Undertaker. The streak was on the line. So it was fine to some extent. It was fine even with a fucking 10-second match, because for that 10-second match, you also had the really good Edge versus Del Rio match. You had plenty of great World Heavyweight matches. You don't have anything to make it a triple main event now.
True.
Sting and Triple H is gonna take that place.
This year, maybe.
Yeah, this year.
But that's only one more match.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's gonna take the
Second main event.
the
That's your second main
Taker match. Yeah. Then you
I
have
hate
the
to
World
say it.
Championship.
We've honestly become, and by we, I mean the WWE in general, had become too reliant on that Taker match. Because that was one of their biggest draws for WrestleMania.
You know what? For me, for the last few years, and even last year when he lost, it had become pretty much a thing of shit. Like, the CM Punk fight, shitty.
I'm not even talking from a wrestling standpoint. I'm talking from a point of selling the event.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, starting with Shawn Michaels. Because Shawn Michaels was involved in a kind of dark storyline with JBL, and then it went to crap, and he just all of a sudden was like, oh man, I'm going to fight Taker.
Yeah.
Instead of ever doing anything really dark and being JBL's slave for money, because he needed money. It just kind of ended, and he's like, oh man, I'm going after Taker. And then it happened again, and he's like, well, I'm going to retire if I can't beat Taker. And I was bored shitless by now. And
yeah,
then
that the Triple H feud too. But I thought the CM Punk match was good.
Triple H 2 happened. And as much of the problems of it that I had with the story, because the story was so much Triple H versus Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, we're talking about Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? There was a certain level of, that match was really, really fucked up. There was no kip up. There was no nothing. It was crazy as shit, and honestly, when I was watching it live, I really thought Triple H was trying to hurt Undertaker. Like, that's how that match came off. It came off fucked up as hell.
Well, yeah, because it was shitty, because Undertaker was acting like he was so old and beat down, which, I mean, he is old and beat down, but he was, like, exaggerating it to where, like, my boys was watching it, and it was like, what the fuck, look at him, he needed to give it up. They wanted him to hang it up and not win, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that was the thing, man. Triple H just came in there and was beating the shit out of Taker with everything that year.
Yeah, he was just dominating.
It was crazy as fuck. So then Taker versus Triple H 3 happened, right? And everybody acted like it was some of the greatest wrestling ever. It told a story and all of that crap. And for me, it was more of the same bullshit we've been dealing with for 4 years now, of the Shawn Michaels and Triple H versus Undertaker storyline.
All it did was tell a story. I watched that match and I felt like I was watching a play. It didn't feel like I was watching a wrestling match. The whole Shawn Michaels and Triple H interaction. You do it. It was like, what the fuck, man?
I don't even want to give it, like, that much credit, man. I just don't. Like we were talking about Raw, Dean Ambrose selling his leg injury, that's wrestling telling a story.
Yeah, not a
Watching
play.
two guys hit each other in the back with chairs because they can't do headshots was boring. And then the Punk thing, the whole use of Paul Bearer made me feel like it was just some of the worst storytelling we've ever seen.
I loved it. I thought it was great. CM Punk looked like a fucking bastard in that storyline, and he got it over.
But if you remember how it happened, man, Punk just loses at fucking Elimination Chamber. And then what? Like, all of a sudden he's supposed to fight Taker, and instead of doing a good storyline, they take advantage of the fact that Paul Bearer just died?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. If I Paul Bearer, he probably don't give a fuck. He probably was happy that he was in a storyline. The dude lived and breathed wrestling. He was one of the, old school dudes.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think Paul Bearer would have appreciated the fact that, like, it was so last minute feeling.
Yeah, but I mean, they were, CM Punk was throwing this match, and like, here, you're gonna have the Taker match, and he made something out of nothing that was, just so last minute.
It wasn't last minute. They knew that they were going to give him that match.
Yeah, but I
knew
mean,
that Rock was going to keep the belt all the way through Mania. We all knew that.
Yeah, but storyline wise, it was so last minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like, hey, he's gonna be fucking with Taker at WrestleMania.
Maybe they needed a last minute, and they knew that Punk was doing nothing by then. But see, they should have had a storyline in place. They knew Punk wasn't going to be doing anything after Elimination Chamber.
They probably did have a storyline, and it was probably shitty.
So they're just like, you know what? Paul Bearer's death is better. Let's use that shit.
Yeah, I guarantee you that's what happened.
Thank you. You know what? That actually puts my mind at ease a little bit. It makes me feel better about it. WWE did have a story. They just realized it was shit.
It was probably some bullshit about CM Punk not getting respect, and he has to beat The Undertaker to blah, blah, blah.
I can see that shit, too. Oh. I don't know. Alright, let's close this out. This episode does need to close. We're going to start with Alex this time. We're going to start with me. Then we're going to do Alex. Then we're going to do you, Matt. And we're going to end with Hatchet. Royal Rumble Final Four now. Since everything kind of got fucked up this week.
Ah, fuck.
I'm going to give you mine. I'm going to keep Reigns in there. I'm keeping Daniel Bryan in there. I'm going to put Ryback in there. I'm putting Ryback in there. I think he should be in the Final Four. If they are looking to push him at all, they need to do this. And they need to quickly end this whole firing storyline with him, or something to bring him back in there. And finally, for number 4, I think Bray Wyatt needs to be in there. Bray Wyatt needs to be doing something. Maybe Bray Wyatt and Ryback can do a feud. Have them both in the Final Four, and then they start feuding.
It's about as good a use for Bray at this point as I can think of.
So, Alex, go ahead. Who are your Final Four now?
Oh, fuck. It sucks now. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, Reigns and Bryan are automatic. I'd like to see Ziggler or Ryback there. I'm going to hope one of them gets there. Because at least it'll put a bit of an edge on it. And probably Ambrose. I feel like they'll give him a nod just by letting him get that far. I mean, he's over as all hell, but I feel like to continue with what they've got, they need to let him go for a while in the Rumble.
We've definitely got to do something with him here.
I mean, he's over as all hell. Like, it's not even a question. Ambrose is, for as much as everyone thought he was going to be an amazing heel, he's playing one of the best anti-heroes that we've seen since Stone Cold.
We really should be having him go against the fucking Authority right now more than anybody.
Yeah, that would... I mean, it would play better and it'd be something we hadn't seen yet. I mean, Cena's just going to sit there and be a bitch until he can go into the ring.
Pretty much, and win a match that somehow gets him safe again.
Exactly.
For the 20th time. All right.
I saw last year, so.
Matt, Final Four.
Okay. I got a definite Ziggler, Ryback, and Reigns. Like, those are definitely going to be in it. And the third one, I'm kind of worrying about Maybe I'm thinking Wade. I'm gonna put Wade in there.
Do you need 6 too? You can have 6 if you want 6.
No, I'm gonna go with my 4. I'm gonna go with Ziggler, Ryback, Reigns, and Wade. Definitely.
So you're
Because
taking out Bryan entirely?
I don't think he's gonna end up in the final 4. I don't think he's gonna win the Rumble. I think it's gonna be him and Rollins at WrestleMania. So I don't even think that's gonna even happen. Maybe Rollins comes into the Rumble and knocks out Bryan. I don't know. Probably not. But Ziggler because he got fired. Ryback he got fired. And Reigns because he's Superman, and Wade because he's beefing with Ziggler, and that's going to cause some friction between those two in the ring during the Final 4. Bam.
Boom. Hatchet. You're 4.
All right. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but in my Final 4, I'm definitely gonna have Cesaro, just because of all the stuff they've been talking about, his Royal Rumble accomplishments or his over the top rope accomplishments and his feats of strength. So I'm gonna go with Cesaro, Ryback, Reigns, and Bryan. And I just feel that Reigns, they're gonna try to push him, bring his push back. And, it's a good story between Reigns and Bryan, coming back from injuries, and I feel like one of those two are gonna win it, either Reigns or Bryan, because they got to give a nod to the people who get hurt for their business.
I'll buy it. All right, so a couple questions there. That automatically destroys Cesaro and Kid.
That destroys Cesaro and who?
Kid being a tag team now.
Oh. Yeah, I missed that if they were.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. They are.
Oh, that's
You never know. Trust me.
All right, so I think we're pretty conjoined on the thought that, fuck Tyson Kidd, WWE
If I
should
had
be
to
tried.
replace Cesaro, let me think about that for 1 second. I think I'd probably go with Orton.
All right, now I know me, Alex, and Matt have talked about this, and I think we're kind of on agreement, right, guys, that Brock Lesnar has to do something since he beat Taker.
Yeah.
At Mania, he's got to do something. Otherwise, it's for nothing.
Yeah, because he's the one who beat the streak. Something has to happen. Maybe Taker comes out and fucks him in his match.
I still think somehow Taker winning and retiring with the belts would be the best thing we could see. Because it would be such a swerve that it would be just unbelievable. Yes, the payoff wouldn't be at Mania, it would be at the Rumble, but oh my God, would the payoff be huge.
All right, so to end the episode, remember, we're Kayfabe Gimmicks on Facebook. Find us. Eviction Entertainment on YouTube. Watch us. Hatchet, your thoughts on Lesnar defeating the streak. What can they do to do something with this now? Because at this point, it's just all for nothing.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more legends for him to take down at this point, so I don't know where any... I think he hit that glass ceiling pretty hard. I don't think there's any way, there's any going up from there.
So,
I like what he said about, letting Undertaker come back and get some kind of revenge during maybe his match, even if it's just messing up his match at Mania. I think that would be the way to do it, and this way you just kind of get Lesnar out of the picture after that.
So we're all pretty much just saying that destroying the streak was for nothing, and they just killed us all for no reason.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Well,
fucking bastards.
That's a depressing way to end an episode, but I think we better end it right there. So sad.
Sometimes it gets depressing.
I'm gonna go cry about this tonight. You gonna cry, Matt?
No, I'm not.
Fuck you, Matt.
I already cried at Mania. I got my 4 tears out.
I think we all cried. Well, again, thanks for listening. Like, subscribe. Go back and listen to previous episodes.
We're on Twitter somewhere.
Huh?
We're on Twitter somewhere.
We are on Twitter. Actually, we're all on Twitter under our real names. So the only way you're going to find us is if you find our Facebook group first.
Yes, follow me at Unclean Spitter on Twitter, and you'll see the link to the podcast, and I'll shoot out some links to the Facebook group.
And I am on Twitter as well as... Oh, God, what's my Twitter handle? I want to say at Real Snuva. I'm Real Snuva. There you go.
And I'm not going to shamelessly plug mine.
I already shamelessly plugged you on Twitter earlier, actually. when
Well,
I tweeted you out with the first episode.
We need to get them tweets. Them
Patrick,
hashtags.
you want to toss any of your own like self-published shit out? Because I know you got plenty of stuff you do, man.
I'm good, dude. I'm good. And just check out the podcast, man. A lot more good stuff to come.
You should have totally free-plugged yourself. Everybody else did.
It's true.
We're a bunch of cheap whores. You guys have a good night.